Hey everyone, it is Barry and welcome back to yet another speed build. Today I tried to really step out of my comfort zone and not do a modern build and not do something I usually do, which is build something where everything fits with everything. Usually I pick furniture that is, the same furniture, and I always try to have an overall color scheme and everything has to fit together. But for this build, nothing does. It is the most chaotic build I've ever done, and at this point while I'm recording this I have still absolutely no clue how I'm going to call this video, because the build is just very freaky and it is super colorful, but you'll see what I mean in just a second, because we'll go into the interior very soon. I haven't spent too much time on the exterior this time because it's a quite small house. Try to go back to the roots a little bit with this. When you step out of your comfort zone so much, you gotta keep something that you're familiar with, which is tiny builds. But in the end it didn't even turn out as small as I actually planned it to be. It is fairly big now, and I think it's a good home for a single sim or even a couple, or maybe new weds, that's how you call them, right? So yeah, there's enough space. There's definitely enough space, but it's not too big, so you cannot put in a gym or a extra study or whatsoever, but it gives enough space for a little bathroom, a quite big bedroom, and a kitchen with a dining room. And what else? I did put in some areas for the Sims, to just do level up their skills and stuff, Also, surprise, my game crashed again, and I don't know what this is, but suddenly the whole screen turns white, and then I can't do anything anymore. I can't go to my desktop, I can't browse through anything that's opened at the moment. I've just got a white screen then. And it happened again, and then I have to, restart my computer, and then suddenly all my savings are gone too. It's not like the game just crashed and it goes back to my last saving point, but it's just gone, and that's what happened again. Surprise. Well, I was very happy about it. So if anything looks different in the screenshots, I'm very sorry. I tried to rebuild everything as similar as possible to the actual build. It's really super annoying. It happens every time I build now, and I don't know what it is and why it's doing that to me. I know for sure that this well looks different in the end because I didn't like it the way I put it there. Well, it stays at the place it is right now, but the decorations on the well change a little bit, but not too much, nothing too drastical, so don't worry, you won't miss out on something. I'm in a very good mood today. The weather is so nice outside, and if you hear noises in the back, that's because my fans are on again. My air conditioning system, my very expensive air conditioning system. My 2 fans, and I have to keep them on the whole day, otherwise I would die in my flat. I would just melt down. So I'm very sorry about that. I hope you can hear it too loud, and I hope with the music in the background it won't be too distracting. If it is, then I'll turn them off next time and just melt away into university. No, not university, into the universe. Hey, let's melt into university. Maybe it would have worked for me if I melted in there, But yeah, no, university, I'm glad I'm not in there anymore. I didn't like it too much. I prefer working, I gotta be honest, and I'm quite happy because I said it before, in Germany when you learn a job you have to go to school once a week, and I really love my class. I really do, they're amazing, but I'm happy when school is over and I'm going to be finished learning in December, because I don't like it anymore. I hate going to school. I just hate it, even though it's not really school in the actual kind of sense, but still I hate it. Well, back to the build. It's always rambling way too much. So when you come in, there's this little, area where you put your clothes and your shoes. It's nothing too big. And now we start with the bathroom, and this is where I really started with all the colors and stuff. I knew that I wanted to do a build like that. I just didn't know how far I would take it. But then when I started the bathroom, it was like, let's go full on in, a lot of colors, a lot of furniture that doesn't fit together. Maybe it looks a little bit old, and not too expensive, but still looks like a lot of love is put into the decoration and stuff. So I feel like the Sims that would live in here would really care about their home, and they put a lot of effort into decorating everything and make everything feel like home. And yeah, everything has to look nice and beautiful. And here we have the quite big bedroom. I mean, you could probably part this room in two if you want to make a kid's room or a toddler's room. It's quite big, and you have this huge area where you can put on your clothes. Here I tried to pick another mirror first, but I like the gold one in the end. And but you have the bed and the clothing area, and then there's an area with a fireplace and some chairs and stuff. And I think you can probably part this room for a kid's room. I tried to put some greenery up there, but I realized quite quickly that I don't like it too much. That's the thing when you make higher walls. I always feel like the rooms look so empty and the walls look so empty, even though they don't really do. It's just because the walls are so high, and it gives you the feeling of something's missing. But it really doesn't. This house is packed with so much stuff, so much clutter. And yeah, this was the first time I really decorated a home without costume content. Usually for builds like that, I would use tons of costume content, but I really tried to build without it. I've done that for, I don't know, a few months now, and I enjoy it because, it's the challenge for me to build without CC. You can download every kind of CC, and just make or download the things you need, or you can just build them on your own and give yourself the challenge to do it with the actual game pieces. And that's what I really tried with this home, and it was really challenging for me, but I really like it in the end now. And I really tried to use a lot of colors, a lot of different furniture. I tried not to use the same brown tones, not to use the same flowers and whatsoever. And I really tried to use furniture that I usually don't use in my builds, pieces that I usually just roll over. And I wanted to make it a little bit cute. That's why I put the teddy bear up on the fireplace, and there are tons of pictures everywhere, because I also imagine them traveling and just going to markets and buy pieces that you wouldn't actually get in a usual shop, and everything is just thrown together. And I also imagine them to be a very young couple or a young sim that lives in here, that doesn't have too much money and just took what was there, took what they could afford, or took a chair from their mom's place and a table from the dad's place and whatsoever, like you typically do it when you move out for the first time. I did put a yoga mattress in there because I love for my sons to do yoga. I don't know why, I just love it. What about you guys? What is your favorite sim activity? I really love the yoga one. Yoga and bowling is quite funny, but yoga is something I do with all my sims basically. That's why I usually tend to put yoga mattresses in all of my builds. It's just something I love to do. We're in the living room now, and back here there's a little bit of a study area with a table, a computer, and some counters and bookshelves, and again, the couch is not fitting to the chairs, and the chairs are not fitting each other, and even the bookshelves are different ones, and the counters are in this turquoise, greenish, bluish kind of color, and then there's this really, really colorful curtains, but even the curtains are not the same patterns, and everything is just completely mixed together. And just in the last build, I said that I usually never like my living rooms, and I am never happy with my living rooms, but this time, I'm gonna be honest, I love the living room. It's packed full of clutter. There's stuff in the back everywhere, a lot of greenery, a lot of plants, those boxes, they're just clothes hanging around everywhere, lying around. And also on this side now, there are heaps of plants, and I'll put cracks into the wall because it's not the newest house anymore, and it's just so full of stuff, and I think you'll see it best in the screenshots in the end. It just looks so cool. It's the first time I really love one of my rooms. I'm never fully happy, but this time I am, and I really, really love this room, and I'm so going to use this house for my gameplay. It's because I love it so much, and I don't know what it is about it, but maybe it's because I stepped out of my comfort zone so much, and that I never realized that this is what I like or what I prefer, because it's so different, you know. I build modern builds the whole time, and I would have never done something like that, so maybe that's why I like it so much, because I've never played with a house like that. And it was also very challenging to do, because the house itself is not quite big, and I still wanted to get everything in and then make it full of clutter and just plaster everything full. And I had to search for a lot of stuff, and I just went overboard with everything, but it took me forever. I think the interior and, you know, the whole cluttering itself took me about 2.5, 3 hours. But it really took my time, you know. I really took my time to find stuff, and even here, you know, there are bowling pins and baseball bats, and I put everything I could find that does not fit together. I really didn't want anything to fit together in here. And here we have a little bit of bar area, so they can actually invite their friends and have some, you know, chill out evenings. I don't think they'd have actual parties. They're not the type of Sims for that. But yeah. Anyways, they have a bar. Here we are in the kitchen, and on the right side in the study you can see I forgot the chair at the table, and when I was making the screenshots, it was like, oh no, how could I forget the chairs? But yeah, I put them a chair on the computer table. And here in the kitchen, as you can see, all the counters are just randomly thrown together. Nothing fits together, not even the chairs, the bar stools, they're not the same. And here we have a little bit of a chill out area again, so if they invite friends and they want to cook together, they can actually sit on the couch with them. Oh, just looking at the living room now, I love it. It's so full and so full of color. It's just, I just love it. I'm sorry, but it's the first time I was so happy with my build. I don't know if you understand. I think every builder understands when you finally really like something. And then here we have the dining area, also different chairs everywhere, you know, just nothing fits together. And then there's really high contrasts of this bluish and the yellow couch. It's just amazing. It's just explosive. A color pot exploded or a lot of color pots actually. And then here we do more clutter. Could you tell? Could you tell in a house full of clutter that we're doing more clutter? Amazing. And again, putting some cracks in the walls to make it look a little bit used. A quite used home. And now I'm just doing something outside in the garden, because I also feel like this sim or the Sims that live in here would spend a lot of time outside, so I decided to put a bigger dining table out there, or not a bigger one, but a dining table, and a barbecue, so they can actually spend some time outside in the wild and enjoy their freedom. Well, this is basically it for this build, I think. So we will go into the screenshots just in a second. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you're having a wonderful week, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!